Manchester City moved a ridiculous 30 points clear of Arsenal after breezing past them 3-0 at the Emirates on Thursday. The result compounded a miserable 5 days for the North London club after they were beaten by the same scoreline by the same opponents in the Carabao Cup final last Sunday. And it's those two results that put even further pressure on Arsene Wenger. Last summer, the Frenchman signed a new 2-year contract to keep him at the Emirates until the end of the 2018-19 season. However, with a top 4 finish looking out of the equation and missing out on both the FA Cup and Carabao Cup, it seems it's a case of the Europa League or bust for Wenger's side. But even winning the Europa League wouldn't convince many Gooners. They've simply had enough of Wenger and want his 22-year helm in charge of the club to end as soon as possible. However, there are still a small section of Arsenal fans that are backing Wenger. After all, it's easy to forget the 3 Premier League titles and 7 FA Cups he has won for the club since taking over in 1996. It's for that reason that many not caught up in the emotion of supporting Arsenal think that criticism that Wenger is currently receiving is disrespectful. One of those people is Peter Crouch. The Stoke striker, who has scored more goals against Arsenal than any other club in his career, has given his opinion on Wenger's situation at the club. And, to be fair, the 37-year-old has nailed it. Some of the treatment he has received has been very disrespectful. He has won the FA Cup 3 times in 4 years, but that isn't enough for some people. How can that be? At the vast majority of other clubs, you would be viewed as the greatest team in history if you did the same. However, despite his legendary status at Arsenal, Crouch is fully aware that Wenger simply hasn't addressed the long-standing problems at the club. It's not for me to say whether he should stay or go, but what I can see is the fact he is not addressing the problems we have all known about for years, Crouch added. They say a team is a reflection of its manager, and right now it doesn't look good for Wenger. Arsenal have been crying out for a goalkeeper, a central defender and a dominant central midfielder. If I'm frustrated that those issues haven't been addressed, how must their fans feel? That's exactly how everyone should be looking at it. Whatever has happened in the previous few years, Wenger will always be considered a legend at Arsenal. That being said, he has some serious problems at the club right now, and it might finally be time for him to step down. But for the Arsenal fans to abuse him every week is, as Crouch puts it, very disrespectful.